Arkham Knight, just so darn unimaginative, part 2. I needed to split this script into two, just couldn't record it in one take. As an amateur on here, you've no idea how difficult this can be to simply read aloud under these circumstances. My poor voice. I know, right? I'm not cut out for this at all, and I should just stick to writing. Oh man, this took so long to record, so enjoy. Harley Quinn isn't interesting to me. I'm actually quite sick of her. You hear that, Paul Dini and the rest of the DC universe? There are other female villains and superheroes out there. What the hell does she do anyway? Ooh, she's crazy. Great. Why can't DC come up with another prominent female villain to feature in the Arkham series? Why does Harley deserve to be in multiple games? Continuing on from what I was saying before in the first video, if I had the chance to address Paul Idiot Dini and the other writers of the Arkham games, I would say a whole lot more. I would not hold back. Here's an example of what I would tell them. I'd tell every developer that the focus of the next game to be created by Rocksteady will no longer be on DC's most boring heroes and their numerous, unappealing, unlikable female heroes. I'm speaking, of course, for my opinion. If you disagree with me, that's fine. Just don't be so sensitive about it. It's not like I have the power to do anything. And no, I'm not sexist, but, here it comes, I don't like Wonder Woman or Batgirl at all. I dislike these characters because I find nothing appealing about them. It has nothing to do with their gender. With that being said, Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman can find another gaming studio to make their games. This new IP I want to bring to life will be something entirely new, something so original, something that isn't borrowed or taken from DC's boring, undying and boring universe. You see, having worked within the gaming industry, I find that many of these new titles have zero imagination put into them. They're all just boring cash-ins with new features, and it is so lazy. In my opinion, games like these are but a means to make money, utilizing the least amount of imagination, and this is a sad state of affairs. So sad. Why did Rocksteady's latest effort have to be focused yet again on some masked loser from the DC universe that you've already seen? Why can't Rocksteady think about creating their own new story that isn't borrowed from anything that currently exists within another universe, or owned by some other company? Is the notion of being totally original beyond them? Money. Money, money, money. Again, it's that simple. That's all it is, folks, and consumers and soulless journalists and brainwashed reviewers in magazines and those users here on YouTube who actually think that there's somebody of worth, they lap it up. They happily pay for it, and the cycle continues. I long for the day that money isn't the motivator for making games, and in its place will be true creativity. Look, I understand that a lot of money and man hours go into the design and production of a game, but it is a sad state of affairs when money and revenue is all that matters. Clearly this is the case with GTA 5. In my opinion, every facet of that game is clearly lacking in creativity, made only for money. If that were not the case for me in the past, where creativity was what mattered first and foremost, I would still be in the gaming industry, and I would assist in the creation of games that would arguably, debatably, stand the test of time. I said arguably, so therefore I'm not entirely overconfident, but I do have a lot of creativity. So the Batman game series is finished, it's over, and that is wonderful news. If you're like me, and I doubt that there are many of you who are, you're sick of these cash-in games that lack any imagination whatsoever. If you're like me and you too are glad Rocksteady has released its last Batman game, then tweet them and let them know you're looking forward to seeing what else they can come up with. Let them know that you doubt their creativity. Ask them. Ask them to make an entirely new IP. Do something. I would, but I don't have a Twitter account. I spend enough time looking at a screen as it is, and I don't need another reason to check in on another app. I do have a life, and those of you who do enjoy talking directly to developers and endlessly looking at a screen, contact them. Hell, tell Angry Joe, who was really hung up on race in Star Wars, and get him to relay the message. According to the rumor mill, Rocksteady is said to now be focused on making a Superman game. Oh boy. I doubt my sources are impeccable, but if they are, I guess Rocksteady is just going with what is popular and what they know will sell. I'm not gonna buy a Superman game. What would the stakes be in that game? Every enemy possesses some form of kryptonite? Clearly, it's too hard for Rocksteady to create something new or enter into a new genre with their game engine. Why can't they make a game with a female protagonist where she fights against female enemies? Apparently there was some feminist backlash over this Arkham Knight, Anita Sarkeesian mostly, writing some passive aggressive words on her Twitter account. Man, she just loves Twitter. It was over the treatment of female characters and how they are dressed, and to that I say, focus on something that is happening to actual and real women, will you? Quit flapping your gums about Catwoman's walk or Poison Ivy's non-optional choice of clothing and the rest of your complaints over nothing, dear cousin. Feminists, man, I'm telling you, they're focused on the wrong things every day. I wonder what would happen if Islamic State clashed with feminists. Watch the feminists run to the man and plead for protection. They might even soil themselves if they see a machete and the first drop of blood. Remember, they feel they shouldn't have to learn how to protect themselves or take responsibility for their own actions. Anyway, back to my main point. If these strong-minded and weak-bodied women want to see female superiority in the gaming industry, then it's going to be hard work for them. The gaming industry as it is, and the real AAA gaming companies, they know their demographic. They know males are the ones who make up the majority of their player base, and so, the smart money says to cater to them. Amazing. My cousin has no idea about them. Or she does and doesn't care. I have this theory. She trolls the male gamers. She will receive strong words that debunk and disprove her words by both male and female gamers. Then she will claim harassment and rake in the money. She's even convinced that idiot Tara Moss that she is affected by the so-called harassment. Yeah, screw working for a living for my cousin, right? Am I right? Why can't these bitching females create their own gaming company and start releasing games directed at impressionable females and man-hating feminists? Tune in for part 3. Oh, and one day soon enough I'll talk about MGTOW.